from South Korea, home to the fastest internet connection in the world, the main contractors of the Burj Khalifa, and K-pop sensations BTS. I take immense pride in all of these things. But beneath this utopian veil, South Korea is also a nation in which women spend hours shopping for self-defense products, where victim blaming is rampant, and any discussion of sensitive topics such as sexual assault are stigmatized to taboo. These long-lasting characteristics of Korean society are the reasons why I was extremely surprised to learn that the hashtag #MeToo movement had made its way to Korea at the end of January 2018. Prosecutor Seo Ji-hyun was the first to share her experience with sexual harassment in the workplace online by posting her story on ePros, an online portal for Korean prosecutors. This kickstarted a brave wave of victims to come forward on Facebook and various other social platforms. In a society that once said, "You are alone," victims responded, "No. This happened to me too." It empowered people, both female and male, to come forward and expose the actions of their assailants. Many of them celebrated veteran actors. This recent movement in my home country reminded me of the power that social media holds in creating real change in our world. Social media includes websites and applications dedicated to social networking, social curation, wikis, and forums. They emphasize community-based input and interaction between users on the platform. In 2017, 71% of internet users were also social media users. And although teenagers and young adults were first to incorporate this into their lives, usage by older adults has also increased in recent years. Social media began as a platform to foster online friendships and to unite users from around the world. However, it has also proven itself to be an indispensable tool for socio-political activism. I am positive many of you have heard of Me Too, Black Lives Matter, Je suis Charlie, and so on and so forth. Today, I would like to discuss some key movements that best illustrate the power that social media holds, then discuss the limitations of online activism. Then I will explore how we, as people and students living in Dubai, fit into the picture. On June 8, 2010, one man sitting in his Dubai apartment created a Facebook page that would change the world forever. 29-year-old Google marketing executive Wael Ghonim came across a photo of 28-year-old man from Alexandria, Khalid Mohammed Said, who had been beaten to death by police. Jaw disfigured, face bloodied, broken. I don't have a photo with me today because it would be a little too graphic to put on the big screen. Realizing any Egyptian could easily be in the shoes of this victim of the oppressive regime, Ghonim started the Facebook page Kulena Khalid Said, We Are All Khalid Said. In just 2 months, this page gathered over 250,000 members, and it kept growing. The fervor online translated onto the streets when on January 25, 2011, hundreds of thousands of Egyptians gathered, not just in Cairo, but in Alexandria, Suez, and Ismailia, demanding change, announcing the arrival of the future. 18 days later, President Hosni Mubarak resigned after 30 years of dictatorship. The fact that anyone can have a voice online means unfiltered opinions can be heard, and those voices can be spread with great speed. Wael Ghonim helped ignite a revolution for his country while he was 1,500 miles away right here in Dubai. In his own TED Talk, Ghonim states that social media made people realize that they were not alone. And gathering support for the revolution online meant that the regime could not stop it. At the time, they didn't even understand what social media really was. The speed at which the Egyptian revolution gathered support was previously unimaginable, and this is precisely the main benefit of social media. People who previously felt alone in their frustration can now gather for a single cause. But this is a double-edged sword. Although social media can facilitate the centralization of pressing but geographically widespread movements such as the Arab Spring, the non-physical nature of social media can also instigate the rise of scattered hate movements, such as neo-Nazism. Many argue that the unfiltered nature of social media allows for hate speech to be spread online. And this is clearly evident in some movements that have happened recently. Charlottesville, Virginia gained notoriety last summer when on August 11th, hundreds of white nationalists gathered for the Unite the Right rally to oppose the removal of a statue of General Robert E. Lee from Emancipation Park. The rally had its own Facebook page, and users of the subreddit The Donald promoted the event in the days leading up to it. It is clear that social media can be used for negative causes, and it's inevitable that these movements can spread their often harmful ideas on the internet. Although hate speech is not directly regulated by social media companies, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube have taken great measures against a different type of extremist content, ISIS activity on their platforms. Facebook uses artificial intelligence to spot text that promotes terrorism and to identify photos and memes that are related to terror. YouTube has gone so far as to deploy a tool known as the redirect method, which serves anti-ISIS content to users searching for ISIS-related videos. This technology was created to dissuade people interested in extremist ideology before they get fully enveloped in it. Despite the struggles we face on preventing the harmful use of social media, the inherent power it holds in uniting the masses has created long-lasting impacts. In the summer of 2014, the social internet was given a choice, either to pour a bucket of ice-cold water over their head or to donate to the ALS Association. As an effort to raise funds and awareness for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, the rare neurological disease also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. There were concerns over whether participants of the Ice Bucket Challenge were actually following through with their donations, whether the stunt was overshadowing the actual disease, or if the campaign was unintentionally endorsing that it was better to be cold and wet than to be a charitable giver. Despite all these concerns, the Ice Bucket Challenge raised $115 million in the summer of 2014 alone. And since then, the ALS Association states that they have committed over $96.4 million towards their mission, including $84 million in research projects that have discovered breakthroughs that will help combat this rare disease. And this is just one example of the many ways the world united through social media to create change in our world. Still, skeptics remain adamant in their reluctance. Shonda Rhimes, television producer and writer, and the renowned creator of Grey's Anatomy, gave a commencement speech at her alma mater, Dartmouth College, in 2014. In this speech, she said, "Hashtags are very pretty on Twitter. I love them. I will hashtag myself into next week, but a hashtag is not a movement. A hashtag doesn't make you Dr. King. A hashtag doesn't change anything. It's a hashtag. It's you sitting on your butt, typing something into your computer, then going back to binge watching your favorite show." Rhymes's comment may seem harsh to some, but it initiates an important conversation on the effectiveness on social media if social media actually can create change in our world. However, through examples such as the Arab Spring and the Ice Bucket Challenge, the Women's March, March for Our Lives, Black Lives Matter, and so many more, it is evident that keyboard activists do not limit their activism to solely discussions or demanding for change online. Instead, modern movements use social media as a valuable tool to gain support. Then they take their newly gained support and go on to accomplish their goals in the physical world. In Dubai, we have the unique opportunity to live in tranquility and comfort, while we are surrounded by a region riddled with conflict. Naturally, we know more about the situations in Syria, in Yemen, in Myanmar, more than those who live elsewhere in the world. Through social media, we can give voice to those who have been ignored by traditional media. Through social media, we can shed light on the conflicts that are happening all around us. I don't expect or want everyone here to start a revolution, but do not discount the power that social media holds. And use it to educate yourself on the global issues that affect us daily. Deep down in our hearts, we all have something we're passionate for, whether that be rhino conservation or ending single-use plastic, something that makes your blood boil. So, talk about it. Share real-life stories from real-life people, and instead of letting your activism end at hashtags, go out into the world, participate in rallies, write to your congressman, and advocate for change, beginning in your own community. We cannot afford to stay silent anymore, or to complain about how much political talk we see on the media. I will leave you with a quote from 1984 Nobel Peace Prize winner Desmond Tutu, a South African theologian renowned for his opposition of apartheid policies. If you are neutral in the situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. If an elephant has its foot on the tail of a mouse and you say that you are neutral, the mouse will not appreciate your neutrality. Social media is all around us. Whenever you take your phone out of your pocket, you have access to stories of struggle, of movements, of change, globally. We cannot rely on the excuse that we didn't know what was going on or we were too busy to help, because it really can't get much easier than this. So, if not us, who? If not now, when? Don't be on the wrong side of history, because our silence will do nothing but help the perpetrators get by. Thank you.